Welcome all of my artists and creatives. No, I don't like that. Hello artists and movers, and welcome to another video here on my channel. It's a little bit different than the other ones that I usually do. So today I'm going to be telling you all of your must-have items that you have to have either in your dance bag or in your car if you have an injury, whether it's a new injury or an old injury. I will not be telling you how to actually take care of those injuries like on a day-to-day basis. You should see a professional about that. That's not my forte at all. But I am telling you like the stuff that you should have in your arsenal to like keep you at your best. So I'm gonna have 10 different items. My first thing is, this sounds really stupid, but warm socks. Warm socks, mucklucks, something like that. So these are mine that I've had them for like the past 4 years. And for people who have either ankle injuries or just like long lasting like foot injuries, depending on what kind of dancing you're doing, these are really helpful because they're gonna help your feet get warm before you dance barefoot. You never want to just like jump into doing something that's hard on your joints, and depending on what season it is, like right now it's the winter time, it's going to be a little bit harder for those joints to get warm. So super warm socks, keep them in your bag. They're always in my bag. I also just wear them when I'm at work because I don't like to have my feet feel cold because we have to take our shoes and socks off when I get to work. So yeah, socks. Now, again, this is for people who do like a lot of technical styles or things that they're gonna be, you know, dancing barefoot or with like a soft shoe. Even for if you're more of like a street style dancer or you do like more hip hop stuff, it's something good to have when you're at home. This is my lacrosse ball. I honestly stole it off of the lacrosse field at my college. Because I always used to like shoot balls and then they would get lost and no one would get them, and I'm like, why would I go pay for one when I can just like scoop one? So yeah, a lacrosse ball is really good for warming up your feet and those like fascia at the bottom of your feet, but also you can roll your back out on it. You just kind of lay down and then roll yourself on it. And even like same thing with your bum, like just put it under your butt and then warm up all those muscles in there. I have an injured piriformis, and so this really helps me kind of warm it up before I stretch it. I like to warm up my muscles before I stretch them. A lot of people think it's the same thing. It's not. I like to warm up the tissues and then stretch them. So yeah, lacrosse ball, number 2. Number 3, bands. Any kind of bands. This one is actually, it's tied in a knot. I have an old shoulder injury because I dislocate them a lot, unfortunately. They're very, very flexible, so a lot of times they go a little bit further than they should. I also have really long arms, you guys. So I'm 5'2", 5'1.5", 5'2", but my arm span is 5'8". So I use these bands for that. I also use it again to strengthen my piriformis muscle. So you can do a couple of exercises like for your shoulder, moving it up to strengthen your shoulders, like lots of different routines and exercises. Or if you have like a smaller one, this is pretty big, but if you have a smaller one that's a little bit tighter, you can wrap it around your knees and do butterflies. And then that can help strengthen your butt muscles. That's where your piriformis is. That can help you with your arabesques, your attitude turns, anything that's like derriere. So yeah, item number 3, bands. I keep these in my bag all the time. Item number 4. So this is something that I really have to have in my bag if I'm having a performance. Not so much important if I'm going to class, but sometimes I do take it with me to class as well. My rice sock. So in college I was kind of known for my rice sock because I carried it everywhere. Basically it's just a sock with rice in it, and I also have a little bit of essential oils in there as well. But you just keep it in your bag, and then if you're going to perform in a theater, you just go in the green room, heat this up in the microwave for anywhere from a minute to like 3 minutes, depending on how long you've had your rice sock. and then you can use it to warm up your muscles. So a lot of times I like to do this so that I can get my muscles warm before I stretch them. And I can do that by heating it up, and then I sit on it and I put it under my hamstrings, and that way as I'm doing my makeup, my hamstrings are getting warm so that when I'm ready to actually stretch them out, then they're nice and warm and ready, and I'm not trying to stretch out cold muscles, if that makes sense. So yeah, my rice sock is really helpful. It's also helpful if you just need a heat compress for like something that's achy or hurts after class. It's super easy, super quick, and you don't have to use those disposable heat pads that obviously like can cause a lot of like waste and trash over time. So yeah. Number 5. Okay, so my next thing that I have, I keep it in my bag. I don't use it as often, but I use it if I just really am achy before class. I will use this KT tape. A lot of people say it's like mind over matter and that it doesn't actually work, and I don't know. I haven't conducted like a study on it or whatever, but I know for me it helps me feel better in class, so I use it. A lot of times, most like street styles, like hip hop, they're very hard on your joints, especially your knees. I have hyperextended knees, so a lot of times they can just like, they feel weight a little bit more, especially if I'm changing from like a straight knee to a bent knee a lot. So a lot of times if my knees are really bothering me, then I'll put this on. There's videos on YouTube about how you put it on based on what injury you have and where you're having pain. And then it kind of acts as like a fake muscle tissue, and so it stretches like how your muscle would stretch, and it acts as extra support. So this is something I definitely keep. I don't keep it in my bag, but I keep it in the car. So I don't use it like every day or anything like that, but I do use it often when I'm really just like having a tough time. Item number 6, we made it to 6. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Okay, so my next thing is the opposite of my heat sock, and it is an ice pack. These I obviously use when I'm at home, not when I'm in class or leaving class. I'm lucky because my roommate, she has to receive packages in the mail that have to stay cold, and so we have this endless supply of ice packs around. So yeah, obviously you need to ice. You can't just like keep going. If something hurts, you have to take the time to at least ice it, because what you have is inflammation in your tissues, and ice is going to help with inflammation. If you let inflammation stay in your tissues, then your body is going to start to develop the muscles around it, around that inflammation, and then it's not going to go away, and then it's going to hurt forever, and then you're really injured. So ice. Do it more often than you think you should. If you think you ice enough, you probably don't. Ice some more. Item number 7. Okay, so this one I actually don't have on me because I've used it all, but it's called Elastoplast. I'll put a picture of it somewhere in here. But basically, okay, you know when you're in a contemporary class, all my contemporary heads, or people who just like to dance barefoot, and you're dancing barefoot and then all of a sudden you get a blister, and then the blister tears on the bottom of your foot, so like the whole bottom pad of your foot starts to tear off. Happens to me all the time. It's really gross and annoying, but you know, it happens. So this was actually introduced to me by one of my professors in college. Thank you, Lana. It is Elastoplast, and basically you're gonna pull it, you cut the tape off, and then you pull it. It's made of a cloth, and so you can kind of see the adhesive on the back of it stretch as you pull it, and you place it across the bottom of your foot. A lot of times I'll like heat it with my lighter, like a lighter first, and I'll just get the adhesive warm, and then I'll put it on my foot, and then after that I put socks on over it. And so the socks and the heat help it form to the shape of your foot, and then after it's formed to the shape of your foot, usually that takes about like 15 to 20 minutes to get it on there right, but then you're set for the rest of the day. You can still dance barefoot, but now you have this barrier so that your damaged skin is not actually like on the dirty floor and getting more germs in it, and then you can also like people won't be able to see it. So it just helps out, helps you feel better and be able to dance your best even though something's kind of in the way, and it also is a little bit more aesthetically pleasing because it is the color of the insides of your hands. So putting it on the bottom of your feet, it kind of blends in and no one can see that there's a big gash at the bottom of your foot. Item 8, I think we're on 8. So the next item kind of goes with the last one. I always keep some triple antibiotic ointment in my bag. This is just like a super cheap like drugstore brand. I don't know if it's gonna focus. Nope, it's not going to, because it's rude. So yeah, triple antibiotic ointment is really good for just getting rid of bacteria that can get into wounds like the last one I was talking about. So I like to put this on first and then kind of like dab it off with a tissue a little bit, and then I use the Elastoplast, which I don't, I'm looking around for it but I don't have it, and then I use the Elastoplast and I put that over it. It's just good to like, it's good practice to clean your wounds and not just be like, oh, just rub it off, like it's gross. You're in a studio with other people, you're already around a lot of germs, you're literally sweating and breathing around people the whole class. So yeah, keep your wounds clean, triple antibiotic ointment. Number 9. Okay, this one I have to keep in my bag. It's literally like in the same zipper pouch that I keep my phone in. Tiger Balm. So a lot of people like Icy Hot. For me, it doesn't do anything. Same thing with Bengay. It doesn't do anything. If anything, it just feels like I'm rubbing toothpaste on my skin. But Tiger Balm is the real deal. This is the extra strength. I'm like almost out. I don't know if you can see that or not. But this is the extra strength and it's white colored, the cream of it, and then they're like the regular one is orange, which I guess is where it gets the name like Tiger Balm from. But I always keep this in my bag. It's just really good for any muscles that are achy or joints. It really does something to the nerve endings in the skin underneath, and it helps kind of subside some of that pain so that you're not trying to like push through, or at least you don't feel when you're pushing through. Even if I just like go to class, I like do a quick scoop and I put some on my shoulders and I put some on my back, and then I'm like ready to go. So Tiger Balm is a must have, a must. If you don't use Tiger Balm, get on it, get on it. Get on it. And we're at number 10. You stuck around, yay, thank you. Okay. Number 10 is something that I do not carry in my book bag. I do not carry in my car, but I keep it in my bedroom right by my bed. And it's this textbook from college. So when I was in college, I had to take a dance kinesiology class, which was honestly one of my favorite classes in all of my college career, because we learned about literally how your body functions skeletally. So how the muscles move, how the bones move, which muscle groups help those bones. And not only does it talk about specific groups, like for example, this area right here is on the spine. So it has like information about like different vertebrae and the muscles that are around them, but there are also little parts in it that show exercises that you can do to strengthen certain muscles that are either weak or that you just want to strengthen even further. So if I know that, because again, I know that I'm hyperextended, I know that I have back pain, I know that I have hip pain from my piriformis and just from my overextended hips as well, because I'm a pretty flexible person. So every time I can't really think of like exercise to do, I just whip this book out. It's by Karen Klippinger, I think I'm saying that right, and it's called Dance, Anatomy, and Kinesiology. Again, it's a textbook, but I'm sure like if you just want to buy it, you could. Super helpful, and it kind of just helps me stay informed about my own body. I think a lot of times dancers just aren't informed enough about how their body actually functions, because we're so focused on wanting to perform and wanting to give the audience what, you know, they came for, which is part of our job, but it's also part of our job to take care of ourselves so that we can have a long career and not just a good one. So yeah, this is my item number 10. So thanks for sticking around. I hope that these different things that I told you are actually helpful. They're very small. They're things that like fold up and they're easy to like take around. And it'll just help you be a better dancer, help you be a stronger dancer, and help you just be your best version of yourself. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Thanks you guys for sticking around. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite must-have items are, and be sure to subscribe so you can see all my future uploads. Later!